How are you guys? Nice to see everybody. How are you guys enjoying this final season of America? It's great. I love it here. It's about to become illegal to talk shit about the president. Did you guys know, right? Which is a problem for me because I love to talk shit about the president. I do. But I also, thank you guys. But I don't do crime. I don't. So mainly because I would never make it in prison. I know, I just don't have what it takes, right? Plus I'm already Muslim, so I'd have nothing to convert to when I get there, okay? You know, and it's crazy, like we had Blue Origin, they sent the women to outer space. Ladies, do we feel empowered? How are we feeling? I don't know, I don't feel empowered yet. Do you feel empowered? I don't feel nothing, but I'll tell you something. One thing I learned is that no matter how beautiful and successful you are as a woman, there's still somebody that's gonna try to convince you to do something that might kill you, okay? Because Oprah went there to see Gayle off. And let me tell you, Oprah is like that friend that wants you to do the drugs first. I just want to see what's going to happen, you know? She was sitting there one day with Gayle like, you know what, Gayle, I'm thinking about space. I think you should go first, okay? And you know, Gayle was terrified. She looked like she was doing a death march, okay? Oprah is not a good friend. Like, let's just get that out of the way. And I guess you guys can see I'm pretty tall. I am 5'12", okay? It's different than the 6 foot that men say they are on dating apps. I learned this the hard way. And recently somebody told me that I look like Cher if she shopped at Old Navy. I love Cher, I do, but she is Armenian, I am Palestinian. Okay, slight difference, right? We do have the genocide thing in common. So we have that going for us. But yes, you know, I did actually live in the Middle East, right? I moved there when I was a teenager, okay? My parents decided to go back to your country seriously. And I spent a lot of time there dodging arranged marriage, which is a lot like dodgeball, just with more balls, okay? And let me tell you, I was the LeBron of that shit, okay? Like, there were not gonna catch me, okay? But my dad was not happy at all with the situation. He just couldn't understand why I couldn't choose a man, right? And he was an English major, so he used to like to speak to us in like poetry or like haiku form. But mostly he'd just sound like a Palestinian Dr. Seuss. And when it came to not choosing a husband, he would say, husbands everywhere. Husband here, husband there. Why no one good enough? Why you make your life tough? And look, I kind of get where he was coming from, you know, like he had 2 wives, his brother had 3, their dad had 4. They had like 64 kids between them, okay? Those guys were putting up numbers, okay? Not me. Not with my 0 husbands, 0 kids, just doing my part to help the genocide. Hey, these are the times, guys. These are the times, you know? But listen, it's not like I didn't want to do it. I wanted to make my parents happy. I thought like marriage would be like Aladdin and Jasmine, right? Because they were from the Middle East too. But when the men would come to ask for my hand, it was more like, I can show you the kitchen. Shining, shimmering dishes. Tell me, princess, now why do you think you'd be free to go outside? It's not a new world. It's not a place where you can drive. I'm here to tell you no. And if you wanna go, I'll say you must be dreaming. And I really was dreaming, because if you remember in the movie, even though Aladdin promised Jasmine the world, he never let her drive the carpet. Right, guys? He did not, right? And now I'm back in America, where I'm free to date whoever I please and be disappointed with all their balls. And it's weird. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to use the apps. Like, I don't know. It feels like the apps are dying now. I have a theory. I think that the app started to die around the same time that women launched Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook groups. Okay? And if you guys aren't familiar with these groups, they were basically groups that women started in every city where they could post pictures of men that they were gonna meet on the dating app to see if they belonged to anybody. Now, as soon as we women feel the need to go down to the town square and wave around the photo of a man and go, does he belong to anybody? It's time to be sister wives. It's time to share them. I don't know what we're thinking. And it's always a shirtless guy with a six-pack. Does he belong to anybody? Honey, that guy belongs to everybody. Okay? That's the city bike. Ridden by everyone, disinfected by no one. Okay? We gotta stay safe, guys. Okay? But I did manage to meet a boyfriend. I met him at the gym. He's great. He's very funny. He grew up on a farm, and his love language is sending dick pics. Last week, he sent me one of his dick on a table with the message, farm to table. I love him. He's very sweet. But yes, I don't know if you guys can tell, I am Gen X. So that basically means that I have 99 problems and my joints are every single one, okay? And I've definitely seen a lot of things. The thing that I wasn't really ready for was self-driving cars, okay? And I'm here to announce that even though it's very unpopular, I do drive a Tesla. I do, okay? I own it, so fuck you guys, okay? Nobody touch my Tesla, but I bought it way before the HIIC, the head incel in charge, started fucking up our lives, okay? And I gotta admit, I do have regrets, I do, right? Because the car downloads updates. A few weeks ago, I tried to get in the car and it asked me for my papers. But I swear to God, if that car ever auto-downloads Mein Kampf, I'm sending it to Argentina, okay? Where all the Teslas should go, okay? Fuck those Teslas. And you know, speaking of the head incel in charge, I know we've heard about this. We have a male loneliness epidemic now. Yes, that's what we hear it all the time on the news. I'm calling it a pussy poverty epidemic, okay? These men are broke, okay? And I have some ideas. I think Doge should get to work on that, okay? So I have some ideas. I think we can model this after existing government programs, right? For starters, EBT, right? For food insecurity. We can make the men wear a dick monitor, okay? And if you fell below the pussy poverty line for that month, you would get a credit for one government pussy. Hey, they do this in the Netherlands, guys. This isn't new, okay? But the key is government pussy would have to be just good enough to end school shootings, but not so good they'll drop out of college, okay? And then, you know, we gotta make sure they don't become dependent on these government handouts, right? So we would do a program like the EDD for unemployment, and we would mail them a form every week to ask them questions like, did you look for pussy last week? List 3 places where you looked for pussy. Target, Whole Foods, Walmart, all acceptable answers, okay? Because we all know all the pussies at Target, right, ladies? We're all just buying shit we don't need at Target, okay? But if after all this, we still found that you spent more than 30 minutes a day on Xbox Live, we would disqualify you from the program, okay? Because men, at this point, everybody should be focusing on doing more with their hands than DJing, masturbating, and gaming, okay? This is how we fix America. And you know, I know people sometimes think that stand-up comedy is like a form of therapy. It's not. Plus, I've already done my therapy. I'm not sure if it was successful. But I'm just here to dishonor my parents, okay? So thank you guys for helping me in that. Thank you, the Stand Up Club. Thank you, Gumbo and friends. Bye-bye.